Happy lunch hour, gang. All right. Well, how was your summer? Because believe it or not, we're at the end of summer. It's next weekend is Labor Day weekend, the unofficial end to summer, right? It's like we look at where we are now. It's like, okay, canning season is coming to an end. Most of us have a lot of our harvest already in, few things left. I mean, I'm still picking peppers and my sweet potatoes will come out next weekend, and that's it. I mean, we're already to the point of cleaning out plants and putting gardens to bed. A lot of you are probably in the same boat, okay? But how was just this week, for example? Did you live on the West Coast? More fires in Napa, huh? Yeah. How about you live on the East Coast? Oh, I don't know. Let's say you live in the Carolinas. Charleston, for example, in South Carolina, got 4 inches of rain in a very short period of time. Had flooding in the streets from Hurricane Aaron. You live up on the Jersey Shore. Lots of flooding there. People had to be rescued from swimming on the beach. Okay? We're still in the middle, still at the beginning, really, of hurricane season. We're still deep in the throes of wildfire season. After what we've seen in the last few years, we get a second tornado season at this time of year, right? Tell that to all the people in the Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri area. Yeah, they get tornadoes this time of year. It's not just spring. Okay? Yeah. Anybody seen the weather forecast for this upcoming week? We're supposed to be in the 40s overnight, all the way down into Missouri, Kansas, Illinois. The Great Plains and the Midwest are going to get cold this week. Now, granted, that's not going to last super long, but we have to face it that fall is about here. And it's going to start getting colder. Things are starting to get changing, if you will. We'll have the leaves falling soon enough. I mean, the further south you get, obviously it's going to last a little bit longer. But for those of you guys up north, seasons change. It's Labor Day, at least when I was a kid, was the time where you put the shorts away and pulled the jeans out, The T-shirts started getting put away and the long sleeve shirts and the sweaters started coming out, right? We're there. So it's time to start planning and prepping for that, getting ahead of the game. Because y'all know just as well as I do, there aren't as many things on the shelves. The stuff is all there, no question. But instead of the Walmart or Target or wherever you shop having 10 of something on the shelves, maybe they only have 3, right? We all know how that goes. There just isn't the inventory because the stores aren't keeping it because the people aren't buying it. So it behooves everybody to get out a little bit ahead of time. Now, like I said, we have still in the beginning of hurricane season, right? Aaron kind of didn't hit, but still caused a mess. Nothing terrible, but a mess. Fernand, which is not going to hit us, might cause some waves. But does anybody think that we're not going to have a serious storm? Does anybody think that Gavin Newsom is going to miraculously figure out how to stop California from burning? What are you guys doing in the Gulf? I mean, who knows what hits you guys? You guys get a storm in the fall every year, too. Could we have an early winter? And even though we haven't seen massive snowfalls in the Midwest or the Great Plains in decades, a lot of us remember the blizzards of 78, okay? It's about time to prep accordingly for that. So looking at whatever you have and go, okay, I've had a little bit of time. Can I expand on what I have? Should I replace something I have? Whatever. Go through, your food stock. You're rotating your food, harvesting more, eating the stuff you grew last year, right? Most of us do that. All right. You go through the clothing and you go, gee, you know what? I've had this sweater for 15 years. It's got holes in it and everything. Maybe it's time I go out and buy a new sweater, right? Do that. And then we look at our power situation and go, all right, if there's a fire, was it Prep Rebel a couple of weeks ago was dealing with a fire just off his backyard the night of a live stream. Okay, didn't lose power, but could have, the way Pacific Electric and Gas does it, it's always their fault, right? So the power goes out. We know what hurricanes do to power. I mean, how long did it take East Tennessee and West North Carolina to get power back? Quite a bit, right? All those of you up in the Midwest, I can say I've experienced this. Power outages in the winter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe it's time to take a look at expanding what you already have or starting to get into something. If you had a little bit of time, as I've said before, people go, oh, gee, stuff's expensive, right? Agreed. And prices come down, and people that are smart about their money go, okay, we want to get this. Let's save our money. It's $20 a paycheck or whatever, and we put it away and go, okay, now I'm ready to take that jump to go get what I have. Dave Ramsey's envelope system, right? This goes to rent, this goes to electric. This is what we're saving for a vacation, for a car, for a new lawnmower, whatever, all right? And you go through, hey, you know what? We finally got some money in this. Maybe we can start looking, okay? And we get to the point now where you start looking for sales. And you know me, I'm always going to be about the one to bring you guys sales. So I want to show you something here real quick. Let's go take a look at this. Many of you guys may remember it was actually Thanksgiving last year when I did this video. It was on the Afri P310, which was a large generator, 3,600 watts. And at the time was selling for $1,549. So now here we are, 9 months later, and it's time to expand that, right? This is the P310B expansion battery. It's not a generator, okay? This is to expand it with. And Alex over at Afri was kind enough to send me one, which will be added to my system in the garage. So there we go. It'll get me more backup power for everything I have out there. Freezers and tools and all that sort of stuff. Lights in the garage. Now, I'm not necessarily susceptible too much to a hurricane, but last night we had some serious thunderstorms come through here. Power didn't go out, but everything is pretty wet, and Mrs. P and I were paying attention, going, okay, are we going to lose power? Fortunately, we have solar on everything. No big deal, so we're good there. But that's because we have planned ahead of time and have our backups, and it took us a few years to save the money to do it. I think from the time I started buying stuff till the time I had it all installed was 2.5 years, okay? Yeah, it takes time. You do it. But how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You're not going to go out and drop everything in one day. So when I was talking to Alex the other day, and he was telling me about this sale, I was like, okay, let's take a look at this. Now, last year, like I showed you in the video, the P310 on Christmas was on sale for $1,549. Take a look at what it's on sale for right now. Look at this. How about that for a price? You gotta like that, right? Okay. So we've dropped another, $400 thereabouts? Okay, now we're starting to get cheap. Now we're in that 32 cents a watt for a big generator, okay? Then you add this thing to it, which is the expansion battery. And you can look at this price. That's the lowest price it's ever been for the expansion battery. So now you're looking at what? 7,000 watts, 7,200 watts for, what are we talking about here? Just over $2,000? Yeah, now we're talking cheap, okay? And again, we're talking about a good quality name in power stations, no problem there. As I told you last time, you got to remember with this one, with the P310, it's 120 only. I just want to remind everybody on that one. It's not a 240 system, okay, 120 only. But let's take a look at what's going on. The power goes out and you need to run the refrigerator, you need to run the freezer. Okay, this is just the generator is going to do it good for easy 16 hours. Add this thing to it, all right. Now you're talking about a day, day and a half running your fridge or your freezer or whatever, and you're totally set. Power hopefully is back on unless you've got massive damage, right? If you need the portability of it, oh my God, I've got to bug out. Yeah, as you guys know, this thing's got the wheels, the luggage handle here, whole 9 yards. So you're good there. But you want to take a look at stuff like this and get it while it's cheap. Because as I said too, the weather's getting cold, at least in some spots, 40 degrees down in the Midwest and the Great Plains, okay? If the power goes out and all of a sudden you don't have heat, all right? Have you already got your firewood ready? How long does it take to get a fire started, right? Oh crap, it's gonna be cold. The power's out, I've got to get a fire started. It's gonna take me an hour to get enough fire going to generate some decent heat through the house. I want to pump up a portable heater, right? You know, space heater. That'll at least warm us up while we're waiting for the fire. Good, okay. You get something like this, average space heater uses about 1,500 watts. Okay, I've got the generator, I've got the backup battery, that's 5 hours worth, okay? Maybe the fire gets going, but before it gets upstairs or the other side of the house or your office where you're working or something. Now I can keep that warm while I'm working and not chattering teeth or anything. It's just an idea for you guys to take a look at. But I wanted to show you this because, like I said, Alex had told me about a great sale they've got on these lowest price ever. And you're probably going to start seeing more and more of these as the companies are going, you know what? We're in the midst of hurricane season. The weather's changing. This is when we start having power outages again. And so you start seeing sales. Maybe you're interested, maybe you're not. Like I've said a million times, there is no one size fits all. If you owned a P310, if you bought one last year and you're looking at the expansion batteries, they're on sale, okay? If 120 fits your needs, which would be like a lot of people in apartments and stuff like that, okay, the generator itself is on sale. I'll put the links below to the sale. I'll also put the link below to the review video I did last Thanksgiving, so you guys can see that's kind of funny in August seeing a video with a Christmas tree in it, but it is what it is. I'm not going to review the whole generator all over again. That's a waste of time. So you guys can go look at the last one. But pay attention. Summer's ending. Things are changing. It's time to start planning for fall and winter because that's what we do. We get ahead of the game, right? Have a good Sunday. Pinball out.